trying to get this going here. Hope it works. Performance issues. CPU usage. Okay, sorry, I'm getting some errors here. Trying to figure out why. Let's close down some things. All right. You guys hear me okay? This should be working. Let's copy this link over. Yeah, my machine's being slow for some reason. I'm not sure why. Hey, how's it going? Yep. No audio yet? No audio. It should be. It seems low. How's that, Chris? I cranked it up. How about now? Check, check. 1, 2. How's that? Is that better? It's cranked up. Let me crank up the gain on it. Better? Okay. All right, this is a brand new microphone, so I'm testing this out too. And it has a has an inline gain, so is good? Okay. Let me know if it's too much, too loud, because I don't have an output to tell me how it is on I'm using XSplit today, so okay. Yep. So this is kind of reminiscent of my old workspace and my old office. This is my new office. I have natural light coming from the front, which is good. So hopefully this is okay. All right, and thanks for joining me today, everybody. Okay. Let me know if the sound is okay. Okay, so I thought, I saw, I follow Mitch Leeuwe, and I saw he posted some really fun frogs on his Instagram, and I thought it would be fun to make one of those frogs. So let me crack those open here. Okay, let's see. Reference. I just barely. So here are the frogs. This is what they look like. Let's crank up the opacity on them and scale them down, and you can see how he makes his he makes his characters a lot like I make my characters, with shapes. So yep, I found my toys. So the sound's okay, but it's delayed. Okay. Let's see. See if that's any better. Hey everybody, how's it going? Okay, so out of these 3 frogs, which one would you like to see me build? Well, I won't tell you which way I was leaning, but there's some that I like better than, or there's one that I like better than the others, but I like them all. Thank you so much, Neil. Okay, so but I really love the natural light here. It helps a lot. So I'm not in the cave. So, okay. You guys like the crazy middle one? Just because of the eyes? Of course. Of course. I was actually I really like the feet and the hands on that guy. He's a lot of fun. Everybody likes the middle one. All right, I'm doing the middle one. Here we go. He's got some crazy eyes. I'm going to actually push the image up a little bit out of the way. And maybe over to the side like this. Just so we can get more of real estate here. Okay. And turn our floor off. And just go to town. All right. So with this guy, and I've actually been in... I don't know if you guys watched the ZBrush Summit. If you watch ZBrush Summit, they announced a new thing called ZZoo, and it's a whole bunch of characters and animals made with mannequins. So mannequins is kind of an overlooked thing inside of ZBrush that not a ton of people use. And I demoed it a couple sessions ago, if you guys caught that one. And yeah, Chris, Frog Tutorial 2.0. What Chris is talking about is I did a frog tutorial on Gumroad. It's been several years ago, and I love frogs. They're just really fun to me. And anyway, with these mannequins, I've been in mannequin land. I'm doing a whole ton of them, and yeah. So going back to making something out of primitives is kind of I need to get back into that mindset a little bit. So, hey, what's up, Angry? Thanks so much. RF, I'm doing well, thanks. I'm still I'm still living out of boxes. I have a ton of boxes behind me, and I just barely found my toys. I just set this up this morning, so that's kind of, yeah, crazy. You remember when it was new? Hello from Holland. Thanks for joining me. And I have been a little bit under the weather. I've had this cough for I think a month or more at least. All right, let's see. Let's just get this. I should message Mitch and tell him I'm modeling this. He always gets a kick out of the models. All right, I'm just using this appendage brush. It's an insert multi-mesh brush that I made quite some time ago. And you can get it for free on my website, 3dcharacterworkshop.com, if you'd like. Okay, I'm going to push these a little forward. So how has everyone been? We just barely finished a student challenge. That was a Halloween challenge. It was a lot of fun. And I'm waiting to hear what the judges have to say. I had some really cool judges judge this competition. It's Grim, so it's 3 guys that create sculpts. I don't know if you have a link for that, Neil, but Grim is made up of Brett, Martin, and James from. So Martin and James. Martin is from Belgium, and James is from London, I believe, the UK. And then Brett is from Texas, and they do some kind of some I don't want to say scary, but some kind of very Halloweenish style sculpts. And Brett is a streamer occasionally on the Pixelogic live streams. You can catch him. I don't think Martin or James has streamed on here. But they're always at the, not always, but they're often at the ZBrush Summit. And they're always really fun to hang out with. Okay, bear with me here. I want to make his the body kind of bend up. So the reason I didn't tuck his legs underneath is because I want to have some space in between the upper and lower leg. I don't want them to connect. So I'm going to remesh them while they're in this position and then bend them back underneath. What are you saying, Chris? So for 3D printing, how important do you think topology actually is? When I decimate everything 3D print, so I know it isn't important, but maybe helpful to build form. So that's a good question, Chris. The real reason for good topology when you're 3D printing is just for cleanliness and smoothness, because the cleanest mesh you'll make is an actual subdivided mesh. So if you're trying for clean and smooth, sometimes it's a good idea to retopologize and then subdivide it down, just because you'll get a cleaner surface. But is it necessary? No, it's not at all, because like you said, you're going to decimate it anyway, so you're going to destroy the surface. But if you're going for a very clean model, then it's a kind of a good idea to retopologize. But I use I use the retopology for several different things, so like a game mesh and 3D printing and all that kind of stuff. So it's worth my time to take the time to retopologize, but it's not necessary for sure. Okay. Yep, watertight is more important. So Ilios, I don't know what, I can't understand what you're saying. I'd have to do Google Translate here. Oh, they're saying hello, and finally Tuesday came. It's actually Monday where I'm at. Okay, thank you. Oh, you posted again. Thank you. Your course very useful for us. Thanks for everything. You are welcome. Thank you very much for your kind words. I appreciate it. What is your hotkey for zoom in and out? There's actually two. But basically what I use is I set my pen, the front button, to right click. This is kind of a big thing that Paul Gabry is a big fan of. It's called the right click navigation, and that just means right click on your pen. So if I'm hovering right now, you can see kind of in my camera, I'm hovering over the screen, and I'm right clicking, and I can spin my model around. If I hold down shift while I spin, it will snap cameras. If I hold down alt, it will pan the camera around. And then if I want to zoom, I can either hold down control and right click and zoom in and out, or what I'm used to, because I've used ZBrush forever, is I will start moving with alt and then I'll let go and I'll start zooming. So that's the method I use. I usually don't use the control zoom method, but that's just because that's how I learned it, and I haven't broken that. But if you're learning it brand new, I would suggest learning, getting the muscle memory of control instead of letting go of alt. Okay. So I'm just going to drag these out. This is a really weird shaped frog for sure. It's going to be kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to put his arms kind of forward and down. Looks like a praying mantis or something to start with. What's up, Night Shadow? How's it going, man? All right, I'm going to turn on, turn on topological for smooth, because I only want to smooth down these hands. And then I'm going to put these in auto groups and then mirror and weld so it's symmetrical. So yes, this is my brand new studio in my new home. I moved about 30 minutes south. These are the same old shelves that I used to have, and I've set up my toys. You can't see them all. These are Infinity toys, but there's like, I have all my prints up top. You can't really see them, but wonder, yeah, I'd have to do some stuff in order for you to be able to see them. I need to make some B-roll so you guys, like some slow moving cameras across some of the 3D prints that I have so you can see them. That'd be kind of fun. Okay. I also have another weird camera too. You just got a new PC from Puget Systems? Awesome. Very cool. Hey, what's up, Mike? How does it sound? I know somebody was saying it's kind of off, but let's see. I think I can turn this on and turn this off. And I'm this is my webcam, and it does this weird kind of, it's a green screen, but it's not a green screen. There's no green screen behind me, but it's still clipping me out. But it does just an okay job, so you can see some of the weirdness. Anyway, yeah, so I like my other camera a little better, this one. But there you go. Sound good on your headphones? Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna isolate this because I want to shrink this down. Yes, Mitch has wonderful tutorials, especially if you're learning how to draw. And he kind of teaches how to draw like I teach how to sculpt. We have very, very similar ideas as far as shapes and volumes and just how things are laid out. Like this up here, you can really see how he thinks about his shapes. And I think about them a lot the same way. Okay. Occasional player, well, welcome. I'm going to be I'm going to get back to a regular schedule now that I'm in my new place. I really want to stream more again, so hopefully I can keep it up. I've been thinking about making some like YouTube videos too. I don't know. We'll have to see how that works. It's just a lot of work. To do all that kind of stuff and maintain my course and all that stuff. So we'll see. So it's not in sync. Is it, when you say it's not in sync with the webcam, is it too fast or too slow? So if I go like this, is the sound happening before or after? Night Shadow, honestly, it hasn't been going because I've been moving, so I'm going to be getting back to that right away. So my hand clap is 1 second after. Jacob, 3 a.m. again. Oh my goodness. 250 milliseconds or so too slow. Okay. Hey, what's up, Tenchi? Okay, let's see. I had it on 2000. Okay, I'm just messing with it really quick. Is this any better? I don't want to clap too hard and blow out your eardrums. The English voice dub is off. Oh, that's hilarious. It's much worse? Okay, let's try it one more time. Let's try. Okay, how about now? Is that bad? I don't want to. It's good? Better? I set it to 500. It was at 2500. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, sweet. Thanks for helping me out, guys. Okay, I'm just making this leg shaped. Leg shaped. Spot on. Okay, awesome. Sweet. Thank you. Okay. Now these arms are really like swoopy. That's a word, right? Swoopy. They kind of swoop. I don't want to stick them to his body too much, so I'm going to pull them away, and then I'll push them back in after I merge everything together. Come on. There we go. So I'm going to pull these out. It's going to look really weird until I get it all merged together. Okay. Let's make the fingers really quick. The webs in the fingertips are going to be really interesting once I get those done. Can I share some daily drills for ZBrush, like warm-up exercise before doing any proper sculpting? You know, I don't really do many drills. What I explain in my course, some of the core skills that you need to kind of learn in ZBrush, as far as not really art on the art side, but on the technical side, the things that you need to know are how to hide and show objects, how to mask objects, how to polygroup objects, and that's kind of the core things you need to know. So if you don't have those down, you should practice, you know, all of that stuff. But as far as getting ready for sculpting, is just to sculpt. Just get in there and just get going. You know, I wouldn't waste too much time practicing anything other than doing what you're doing, because every sculpt you do, you should be getting better. And so that's my advice, is just to sculpt. Just go. Just do it. Do it. Okay. So I don't know if you guys saw what I did there. So this is a trick that I don't use that often, but this is one of the masking tricks. I want to have everything masked except for the upper leg and the lower leg, because I want to rotate it. But if I have my gizmo showing, I hold down Control and I tap on just this piece, then this lower leg is not unmasked. And if I hold down Control and tap on this one, now the upper leg is not unmasked. So how do I unmask them both? One way I could do it is isolate these pieces like this, and then unmask them like this. That's one way to do it, but it's kind of cumbersome and it takes a lot of movements. So, oops, let's clear this mask out. Okay, so another way I could do it is hold down Control and tap on this first piece, and then I can hold down Control and tap on the piece that I want to add to that unmasked section, and then drag it to the object that was unmasked, and then hold down Shift. See that? Shift. I'm still holding down Control, and then I let go, and now both pieces are unmasked. It's really a bizarre way to do things, but it's how you can kind of unmask objects as you're working. And that works with the transpose tool as well, if you use transpose. Do you check for anatomy reference before you start sculpting, or it becomes very familiar? Jacob, it is in my mind as far as it becomes familiar, but what I also like to do is I like to get kind of a reference board before I start sculpting. So if I'm gonna make a character and that character has a lot of anatomy exposed, especially if it's a human character, I will go gather anatomy reference particularly the areas that are exposed, like if it's a really muscly arm or something and it's hanging out of a shirt and you're going to see it, then I'm going to go gather anatomy reference and have it ready, and I'll be looking at it. But I don't gather a whole bunch of reference if I don't need it necessarily. And then if sometimes I'll get some what is it called, kind of some reference or some inspirational images. That's what I'm looking for, inspirational pieces. Like if I will get some materials, you know, go and like if it's a character with like a leather coat, I'll go look at some leather coats that are very similar, and I'll go gather those and put them in the folder. It's just kind of a reference board. But I'll only do that if it's particular. Who was I clapping? I was just clapping to line up my my Microsoft, or what am I saying? Microphone. I was trying to line up my microphone with my voice because it was off, and the best way to do that is by clapping, so you can see when it hits and hear when it hits. So, yeah, is that in the thumbnail on Facebook or something? It's kind of funny if it is. Okay. And how's it going, Sean? Okay, let's make some fingers. Fingers. Toes. I guess these are toes, not fingers. And then the little ball thing on the end. Hey, how's it going? Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. So if you have your gizmo showing and you hit one of these other shapes, it's going to replace that shape with whatever shape you select. Like if I select this cylinder, it's going to replace it with the cylinder. That's not what I want. So I need to hide the gizmo and then click on this round shape to draw it again. Oh, Night Shadow, really? Was it? Yeah, I've never used one of those, but I've heard people enjoy them, so hopefully it works out for you. Whoop. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. And mask those two things off. Zeral, you're my fan. Thanks so much, man. I somehow did not understand ZRemesher. Use polypoint? ZRemesher doesn't really work very well with polypaint because there aren't enough points to use to paint with. You need to have enough points because polypainting is painting the points. So you want to have a pretty dense mesh if you're going to be polypainting. Okay, and then now the thumb. Frogthumb.com. That should work. I know they're longer than that, and they have webbing in between them. We'll have to figure that out. I think I've kind of become a fan of Sculptress Pro, so I might take this frog into Sculptress Pro after I merge everything together and just kind of work it. We'll see how it goes. And the reason why, see, that's kind of a long route to take to unmask that, but I want to copy this off for the hands, frog hands. Okay, now I can just take the snake hook and just make these fingers kind of longer. Boop. kind of hard because they warp. Let me see. Looks like a monster. Yeah, it is a monster. Till I get everything in place, it's gonna look weird. Okay, I'm gonna put everything in its own poly group because I need to hide and show stuff. Group by normals, mirror and weld. There we go. Okay, let's see. How do you fatten them up or make them skinny? Just use inflate. I'm doing the middle one, sorry, the one on the left. This guy right here. So life size. So you can just grab inflate like this, and inflate them. Or if you want to make them skinny, just hold down Alt and deflate them. But this is kind of fast, so you can turn the strength down a little bit. Crazy busy. Busy's good. Busy is good. I've been busy as well with this move. Holy cow, and I'm not done yet. I still have a storage unit full of stuff. I'm just like, how did I get all this stuff? Why do I have so much stuff? Oops. I really need to do like garage sale or something. So you're doing more Z-sphere construction or still using your awesome Z? So I'm doing Z-spheres just for Pixelogic, just to help people out. But usually I'm still sticking to my my methods, which is using primitive objects. Okay, so I'm going to combine these right now, and then I'll ZRemesh them together. Let me save it first. Save it. Frog. Hey Bjorn, how's it going? Okay, so let's center this. Reset it, and then we'll merge these together. Remesh by union, which is, it does this. You know, I think I want to remesh or Z-remesh these to get them to be more of a even topology. So let's do that first. Okay, let's see. Just Z-remesh, see what it does. Thanks, Neil. Okay, let's have. I'm going to turn Z-remesher up to say 7, and I should turn on keep polygroups. Keep groups. Okay, yep, this will work. I just want them to have a similar density, so when I remesh these together, the stitching in between is more predictable. Let's see. Like this. And then hit accept. Oh, really, Sean? Okay. So now I'm just going to Z-remesh this as it is. Let's duplicate it first. Is this mic picking up like my my taps and stuff on the Cintiq? I'm just curious how this mic's doing. We need an option in the next version of ZBrush for symmetry to remain on. I know. I need to ask about that, actually. Do it, John. Okay. So let's remesh or ZRemesh this. Not Z. Yeah. Keep groups. Let's go up to 10. Let's go to do 10, I think. See what happens here. No pen clicks, no like tap, tap, tap. Okay, so this is what we got. It is a little dense, but what we can do is I just kind of want to go smooth out the joints, like this frog leg joint. Chris, that's a little creepy. So nice. I love it. It rubs the lotion. It slides the pen. Yeah, it'll be, I'm looking forward to getting just back into the groove of things after moving. Moving's not fun. I'll just tell you that. Not a fan. Looks like it made, did it make the hole? No. Okay. Let's see. Might just a glass screen. Oh, okay. Oh, did you hear the clunk of the so there's no shock mount on this microphone. This is my old, probably heard that. This is my old shock mount for this microphone. So this is a Rode Procaster, and it kind of locks in here and then it hangs like this, which is, it's very similar to this one, but this one's a little higher quality. It's about double the price, this thing. So I don't know if the sound's actually better or not. I'm just trying to invest to make my production higher, my production quality higher. I'm shrinking up these cankles. Have you heard of the Overwatch 2 game announcement? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna buy that game with all the new features. Yeah, I'm really looking forward. My favorite part of Overwatch, honestly, is the co-op missions. Like when they do, like the Halloween one, it's pretty fun, and the one where you're fighting against robots, and you know, those are all like my favorite missions or things to do. I mean, the PvP is fine too, but it kind of gets old after a while. It's just match after match after match, and when you're playing against friends, or playing with friends, I'd much rather do co-op than PvP, even though it's like, you know, that's kind of what you do in those kind of games. But okay. So let me I'm gonna actually pull his mouth in. And then ZRemesh it. And then I want to actually let's see what happens when I ZRemesh this. Whoops. Yeah, potentially the new graphics look great. Looks like a lizard guy or something. And I kind of want to start to inflate out where the eyes are going to be. Now that I turn the intensity down, it's a little slow. Okay. And then after I ZRemesh this, I'll push them in and make kind of an eye socket. Yeah, Guy, I was looking at Diablo 4. That looks great. And then the crew that did the the cinematics for Diablo and Overwatch, man, they do such good work. Such good work. So I'm going to duplicate this again and ZRemesher it again. Oh yeah, Sean, I love that actually. I can't listen to music while I'm streaming because it will mute my stream. Do I know? Oh yeah, Glenn Southern's a good friend of mine. He's awesome. Glenn's awesome, and I love he's really big on experimentation. He's always experimenting with new software. He's a big ZBrush user, and he experiments a lot with VR, and he's been dabbling in this new software called Gravity Sketch, which is kind of like Subdivision Surface but in VR, and I really want to check that out. Use it in combination with ZBrush. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, Glenn. I've never met him in person. So it always just, because he's over in the UK, he's just never gotten over to the States when I'm, like, I missed him by a week when he was at the New York City. I was at the New York City Toy Fair, and he came to do some Oculus stuff the following week. I missed him like a week. Whoop. I mean to. Okay, so I'm just putting this in a poly group right here. Alexa, is that tomorrow? Techno Leonard, is that Red Dead Redemption? I'm a huge fan of Red Dead, so, and I really want to get it on PC because I can push the graphics and do mods and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to Red Dead. Okay, so this is actually a trick that I learned from Dylan Ekron, which is I can turn on double, and I can model from the inside. So I want to make this mouth cavity actually have some volume to it. So I can use inflate and hold down Alt because it's the reverse, and actually inflate on the inside of the mouth, which works really well, and give it kind of this mouth cavity. And then I'll close the mouth later on. Looks like lipstick on a frog, right? Oh, Night Shadow, that's cool. Life size, I don't know anything about that. I've never done it, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I've never tried it, but it would be cool if you could. So I'm just going to add another poly group around the edge of these lips, just so I can get, whoops, just so I can get the, like this, so I can get ZRemesher to follow that flow. That really looks like lipstick on a frog. And then I want to push in these eyeballs like this, so I can make some sockets for where they're going to go. Push this closer. Man, the performance, I don't know what is making my PC lag. It's making it, not sure what's going on. Like something is running in the background here. Let me just try something. My CPU is at 53%. Trying to figure out what's taking up all the processes. Okay. Man, XSplit is a hog. I'll tell you what, XSplit is taking up 24%. OBS is light. So that's kind of why I'm not a big fan of XSplit. It's a hog, CPU hog. All right, well, now I know. Yeah, I use Malwarebytes, and it doesn't really, it's not too heavy as far as that goes. But you're right, it can totally eat it up. So I can't say your name, Gerald Matties. So it's I'm just putting in the base, and I'm doing this frog, not this one. I'm doing the one on the left. So eventually I'll push him into position, but right now I'm just getting a solid base to work from. I'm not really caring too much about the proportions and if it's matching the picture just yet. Okay, come on, ZRemesher, do your thing. There we go. Yep, I'm just getting solid shapes, solid rings, all that kind of stuff. I mean, he doesn't even have eyes yet, so it'll get there. Yeah, I'm making this guy. I just wanted to show this one because there's actually there's 3 of them. There's this one too. I almost modeled this guy because he's really fun. But I also wanted to show that Mitch drew these. Mitch Leeuwe drew these, so that's kind of why I left them all up there. Okay, so now that I have this in place, I'm feeling pretty good with the ZRemeshed mesh, so I'm going to start cranking it into position. Yes, it looks really weird right now. This kind of reminds me of the point where I don't know if you've ever seen a car that's been wrecked being painted, because they sand it down first and then they fill all the bad spots with Bondo or filler, and then they sand that down again. I feel like kind of that's where we're at right now. And if you were to show a client your sanded and bondoed car, they would just be like, what did you do to my car? You know? So it's almost like, we'll just wait. It'll get painted, it'll get sanded, and it'll look good. But right now, don't look at it because it looks horrible. And Ryan Kingsland calls that the valley of the suck, because it looks crappy for a long time until it doesn't. I know you said you updated your 3D curriculum with, did something change with 3D printing? I added a new lesson on how to kind of fix your models for 3D printing, because Corinne, one of my students, was printing one of her models and she had a whole bunch of holes on the inside, and so I wanted to show her how to fix those holes and how to find them. So I added a new lesson that showed how to do that. Yeah, this is Skin Shade 4. Okay, so I don't know that I've seen that one, Sean, the diner thing. I may have, I'm not sure. Whoops. Oh, come on. That one doesn't want to... Hey, Bronco, how's it going? Okay. I just don't want this toe masked. Okay, there we go. Then let's bring these arms in. Yeah, 3D art, totally. You know, that tutorial is still up and people are still buying it, which is crazy to me. I have a tutorial on Gumroad where I taught people how to model a frog, and people enjoyed that one quite a bit, so I just left it up there. It's the techniques are slightly out of date, but it's still valid, I think. Are there any advantages to using a Cintiq? Only for speed. So I've talked about this in past streams. You don't need a Cintiq to be a good sculptor. It will just speed up your workflow. And the reason why is because you'll just make less or fewer strokes when you're using a Cintiq, because your connection to your work is one-to-one, where if you're using a tablet, there's an offset because you're working down here and you're looking up there. So sometimes you are, there's a little bit of a disconnect. So sometimes you have to recreate that stroke a few more times, so which slows you down. That's about the only real benefit of a Cintiq. Other than that, it's not necessary to have one, honestly. Hey, Jonah D. Vargas, how's it going? I am doing well. I just moved. This is my new studio, so I'm happy to be in here. Oh, you're upset you missed the Halloween Student Challenge. When is your Christmas one? I don't know yet. I'm still working on getting this one done, so getting it judged and all that. So I haven't really thought about the next one. One thing at a time. Okay, let's go range 3 on this. I love how his mouth stripe goes all the way down. So like the bottom of his mouth becomes like his belly line. It's just really, I like it a lot. I like the design. Okay, let's give him some eyes. He's just like this. It's almost like a skull or a skeleton or something. Okay, let's see. Yeah, something like that. Crazy eyes. Hey, Fame, how's it going? Yeah. You're having an issue with mesh mixer? Trying to add the drain holes in the blood. Oh, weird. Yeah, mesh mixer's it's an interesting beast for sure. Whoops. Let's grab the body. Okay. I need to split off these eyes. There we go. Okay. Because I don't want to edit the eyes and the body at the same time. Mesh Mixer is a software made by Autodesk that helps you with 3D printing. It's a free software that it just easily does like drain holes, and it does some supports, but they're not the best. They're more for extrusion style printers rather than resin printers as far as the supports that it creates. And it will do some mesh repairs too to kind of help you prep for printing. We used it on Disney Infinity to prep some of our characters. Okay, I really want him to give him this big bottom lip. Oh, Night Shadow, thanks so much. Yeah, this is number 101. Crazy, huh? And he's got this overbite. I really want to get that overbite. And I love the frogs on yeah, Meet the Robinsons. You guys seen Meet the Robinsons? Those lounge singing frogs are pretty hilarious. Am I a full-time ZBrush artist? Yes. So I actually teach it. I worked for Disney for 10 years, and then I've been working in games for 22 years. And I used to work on Disney Infinity, if you've heard of Disney Infinity. And then they shut that down, and I decided to teach it instead. So now I teach full-time. I have an online course called 3D Character Workshop that I made, and Sean's one of my students. There's probably other students in here. Hey, what's up, NLT? How's it going, man? Have I tried 2box for hollowing drain holes? I have not. Does it support resin printers? That's cool. What's up, Kev? Oh, hey, yep, Tenshi's a student. How's it going, man? And if you want to learn more about it, you can see those links from Neil that he's popping up there. Thank you so much, Neil. I appreciate it. Always. You're the best. So, and if I give away these brushes for free in this user interface, if you'd like to check them out. Danielitis, how's it going, man? Okay, I want to, I'm going to turn on dynamic subdivision to get him smoother. I'm trying to get these shoulders to work good and not, these arms are looking really bad. So let's see if we can't get them cleaned up. I want the wrist to be quite small without being warbly. Let's crank it up. Greetings from Germany. How's it going? Are you going to have any future clothing merch for your contest winners? I've thought about it. It's a pretty good idea. Thanks, Guy. I appreciate it. So if you sign up for my brushes, you'll get on the mailing list. And just so you guys know, I may be having a promotion for Black Friday this year. So be on the lookout for that. That's coming. So if now this month is a good time to join us. So be on the lookout for that. Oh, having an image of their render on a shirt, that might be cool. Oh, European here, it's when's Black Friday? It's the day after Thanksgiving. Let's see. When is it? Hello from Finland. Oh gosh, come on. November 29th. Okay, thanks. November 29th. And if you're on my newsletter, you should get the emails. I'm horrible at sending out emails, just so you know. I'm not a big fan of spam, so I don't send out very many emails, which is not good, because then when you do hear from me, you're just like, who's this guy again? Thanks, Neil. Yeah, I'm just not that guy, because I know how much I'm not a fan of spam myself. I need to crank this up. So I'm running out of topology here. See this right here? It just means I'm running out of topology to support what I want to do, which is usually at this point when I get down to doing surface details like this, it just starts to fall apart. So sometimes I'll turn on Sculptress Pro at this point just to add that detail. Yeah, one of these hats. I actually tried to find a place that would embroider hats like this, and I haven't found them. I haven't found one that will do it at a decent price. Okay, I'm gonna hide this. Well, I've been thinking about doing some kind of maybe YouTube videos or something where I talk about more high-level stuff, like you know, like what to put in your portfolio, how to get a job in the industry, you know, that kind of stuff. Just helpful stuff that isn't necessarily in my course. I do talk about that a little bit, but okay, I'm gonna go ahead and apply this and then see if I can do that. That should give me more resolution. NLT, you know, so it's a problem between, it's not just finding someone who does embroidery, but who does it well for a decent price that makes sense to give away, you know. You want to get a what? A photon resin printer? Hey, what's up, John? There we go. That's better. Might be a little too deep though. Let's try that again. Without, let's do it lighter. What's your site called again? I can't read the details. It is 3dcharacterworkshop.com. I'll have to check out the photon. I've been looking into a Form 3. I've been wanting to have a form for a long time. I just haven't had the space till now. Okay, smooth this out. Frogs are fun. Okay, and now I want to kind of, let's do some detail here. All right, Night Shadow, thanks for hanging out. Phenom? What's that? Yeah, there's a fairly cheap one that Raf Grassetti uses. Like, it's like $500 or something. I want to check that one out just because it's so cheap, you know. Hey, what's up? $1,800 for a 400mm build volume. Okay. Elegoo Mars printer? I don't know that I've heard that one, guy. Sounds interesting enough. Okay, let's see. Let's subdivide these eyes up a bit so they're smooth. And I want to run a pinch line down here. Hey, from Denmark, how are you? Thanks for hanging out. Still 250 for the photons. Okay, come back, smooth it out. Okay, life size dolls, cool. Yeah, it'd be great to have you in there. All right, I'm gonna crank this smooth up. Pinch is my favorite. It's based off of a Ma cut brush. Let's turn that power down though. I like it because you can kind of clean stuff up with it, get rid of warbles and whatnot. Okay, now with these hands, I just want to see what, if I could just mask off an area and just kind of pull it out just to make that webbing. Hey, what's up, Dan? It's good. It's good. Thanks so much. Beefcake, I do teach a little bit of hard surface. So in the course, I teach how to make a pistol with the Z Modeler brush. I want to add some more because of the live Boolean and stuff like that. It makes it really, really easy to do hard surface stuff. But it's typically just, and I do teach how to make a sword with another character that's in there. Let me show you really quick. I'll give you a little behind the scenes tour. Wow, this is slow. Okay, so yeah, if you were to purchase my course, you go here to log in. It takes you to a library, and this is all the stuff you get. So it's like the main workshop itself. There's some extra stuff. There's a mini course. There's an early beginner walkthrough if you're brand new to ZBrush. And there's the 3D Character Workshop community. And there's also a Discord channel. So if you go to the main course, and here's all the modules that come with it. And there's part of character detailing is building props with ZModeler. So I show you how to make this gun. And then I teach all of the things that go into it, like all the hotkeys and all that kind of stuff. And then I do a time lapse of how to build it afterwards, so you can kind of see how I do it. But this is essentially how all that stuff goes. And then if you go back to the workshop itself, let's see, actually, let's go back to the library. Go into the community. I go live twice a week just for the students. So I do a Wednesday student only live stream. It's just like this live stream, but it's for the students. And then I do a Q&A session on Fridays. So if you go in here, you can see this is a new character that I'm making, and this is the student only live stream stuff. So you can check this out. So anyway, a lot of fun. And then Q&A and stuff like that. So okay. I want to shape this a little better. What time do you do those live streams? I've been trying to add more, add some variety to the times that I go live, but usually I go. Actually, I start now on Wednesdays, and then I do the Q&A now on Fridays. So it's 1:14 Mountain Time right now. I'm in Utah. So I usually go at 1 o'clock, and just because that's about 7 p.m. in the UK, so I can catch those people, and it's about 1 o'clock. It's noon in Pacific, and it's like 3 o'clock on Eastern, so more people can catch me. That's why I chose that time. Is just I actually put out a poll to see when most people could catch me live. Utah? Are you from Utah, Lulu? Okay, and I want to make these. I'm going to just solo these hands for a minute. Yeah, so that's a lot of people in the US are at work during those times, so that's why I've been sometimes I'll push the live streams to nighttime here, but that makes it so people overseas can't watch it, but it's easier for people in the US to watch. So it's kind of a give and take. It's one of those can't please everybody type deals. Oh, you're from the Netherlands? Oh, right. Yeah. Netherlands. This looks like alien hands. Frogs have alien hands. "9 p.m. for you? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's about this time, so. Okay, let's switch to mask pen. And let's see what I can do about this webbing. I'm not too confident this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. Okay, good old snake hook. Okay, my smooth is too fast. Okay. See, I don't know if that's working. If that's gonna work. Yeah, it works on this one. That's not bad. That's doable. Maybe if I take it, oh gosh. Let's undo this and take those masks higher up the fingers so I have more to work with. Okay. Because I think it'll work, but just kind of man, I think this XSplit has taken a lot of CPU. I just feel it chugging. And this is like I'm not doing anything crazy with ZBrush, you know? Okay, let's try this. That's better. Would Sculptris Pro work better with these, or can't you use it with masking? You can use it with masking. The reason I try, sometimes I'll use Sculptris Pro just for fun, but sometimes I avoid it because as soon as you turn it on, I've talked about this in other streams, you're kind of committed to, you can no longer use dynamic subdivisions, and dynamic subdivisions with low resolution mesh is what gives you a clean mesh. And with Sculptris Pro, you kind of have to commit to, you know, you can't use dynamic subdivisions, and you're gonna have to either ZRemesh or retopologize it at some point. Not, you won't have to, but it's just easier to mess up your mesh. Not I'm not messing up my mesh right now. This looks horrible. But there we go. It's not too bad. Yep. Snake hook. Ooh ha ha. Yeah, so I use OBS all the time. I use it all the time. I do my recording with XSplit because you can pause your recording, and it has a few more features that OBS does not. Like the camera thing that I was using earlier, where it gives you kind of a green screen look behind you without actually having to have a green screen. I was messing around with that. But usually I would use OBS or Streamlabs OBS. Those are both. Streamlabs OBS is pretty good. It's kind of like it's OBS with a skin on it, you know, like a Streamlabs skin, and that's more for professional streamers that earn their money because, like, from subscriptions and follows and things like that. Yeah, Neil, that's true. That would probably kill my CPU for sure. But yeah, OBS is much lighter on CPU. It's almost like it's not there. The other solution that a lot of streamers use is a 2 PC solution, but I don't have a second PC just sitting around. So, but basically what you do is you work on one PC, and then you send your, so instead of pushing your broadcast to a monitor, you actually push it to a second PC into a capture card, and then that PC will then stream it to like Twitch or you know, Facebook or whatever. So a lot of streamers do that too. Oh, did it really? Did OBS add pausing finally? Since August, really? Okay. I heard it was coming. I just didn't know when. That's good to know. Good to know. That will help a lot. I like OBS quite a bit. It's just easy. It's just slick and like nothing to it, you know? So I'll almost likely go back to using OBS next stream. Thanks for letting me know. Had to move to XSplit for my streaming to allow me to use 4 camera inputs. Oh, you can't use that many on OBS? I have 2. I want to get more, but... Okay, so there's some webbing. Webbing. Turn his eyes back on. Such a silly looking frog. I'm going to twist his feet to be pointing further out. Okay, let's see. And I'll probably twist it going down the leg rather than at the ankle, just to give me a better result. Hopefully. Let's blur this mask out. Okay. I might have to do it at the ankle and just smooth it back out because I can't really twist this foot. I want to do this, but you can see it's just messing up his leg. Not too bad though. I could probably fix it. It hated 2-year cameras and got really flaky. Yeah, so NLT, the I just happened to find a lifetime deal for XSplit a long time ago, and that's why I just have it, and occasionally I'll just try it, you know, like today I'm just like, I'm just gonna try it, see if they've updated anything, made anything new, made it easier or not, you know. And then I just forgot how much of a resource hog it was. I was hoping they would have fixed it, you know, but nope. It still likes to use the CPU a lot. Man, I really jacked up this leg, didn't I? Oh, come on. Let's come around this side and fix it. Make this straighter. There we go. All right, let's give him a little bit of color. I kind of picture him having a such a weird shaped frog. I kind of pictured him having a green that was kind of in the yellows. Something like this, maybe a little darker. Okay, then let's fill that. Then his belly essentially is just a lighter version of that same color. Not, let's see. Something like this. Maybe. I should have polygrouped that thing. Thanks. Yeah, color is a lot of fun. And pinch, that pinch kind of helps you go right up to the edge, because essentially what it's doing is gathering the geometry in that kind of that crevice. So it just kind of helps maintain, except for I'm not doing a very good job not going over that line. So if I were to retopologize this, I would run a line right down that valley, just so I could follow it easier, and it would maintain that solid color. Masked by polyangle there is, but it's not steep enough in here to make it work. So I'll just kind of do it by hand. Have you guys seen Lucky's Tales coming out for the Switch? I actually did a couple. Well, I did one of the characters for that game. The love interest of Lucky. Oh yeah, I forgot about Lazy Mouse. It's on. I thought it was on. Yeah. I turned it off to make the nostrils. You know, Ian, I think it would be fun to do a morph target where he's like, he goes let's hide those guys. Is there any option to make a layer for coloring? There is, but it's not what you think. The layering system in ZBrush, it's better for modeling, and it's not as good for poly painting. Oh, come on, ZBrush. It's not doing very good. So anyway, I'll just leave it like this, temporary color. We'll just call this temporary color. And then let's do the lip. Can do topological. Yeah, it's not working. Come on. There we go. That works. Okay. Now with the eyeball, let's just try. Because I kind of like it's not like really bright white. Maybe crank it up a little bit, but keep it in the same family, like that. That helps a little bit. Okay. And I want to put some gradients. I always like to do gradients. So grab this airbrush, grab this color. Let's paint some. Gotta be on the body. Yeah, Neil, don't ever use 100% white or black. Okay, I actually want to grab this color and go darker. Do some fake ambient occlusion down in here. Might be fun to drag some spots on his back. How you do that is just go to drag rectangle into your stroke and just pick a different alpha. So like this circle. And then you can turn off symmetry. Bring your brush size down. Just drag. Oh, come on. Oh, because I'm on airbrush. Let's try that again. Drag rectangle. There we go. Okay, so and you can add depth to these if you want to, but I'm just going to do it in Paint for now. Couple spots on this side. And some down here. Maybe on his legs. Okay. Now, make him kooky like this. I'm just gonna do some spheres on his eyeballs. Let's go. Not 100% black, still in the green family, but pretty dang dark. Let's drag these out. Okay. Duplicate and then delete the lower. So you can't use insert multi-mesh with multi-subdivision levels. So we just need to kill those subdivision levels. Turn this down, delete higher. Now we can draw it on there. He looks derpy. What's up, derpy? Okay, and then hide these, delete hidden. And then squish them. Whoop. Local symmetry. Okay. Now I'll just do one up and one down. Let's go. I need to kind of guess the center of this eyeball. So we'll just kind of eyeball it into the center. And to move the gizmo without moving the object, you just hold down Alt. And then I can just, whoops, let's mask this one off. Just roll this one up and kind of back a little bit. So that's another trick you can use is you can turn on symmetry and it'll make this little orange dot. See this little orange dot? And if you hover over that orange dot, it's going to make the gizmo pop over to that side. So what I did is I turned on symmetry and then I hovered over that dot, popped it over there, and then turned symmetry back off. That way I can make this eyeball go down. You can see it's kind of slightly off. I'm going to push it out a little bit. There we have this derpy looking eyeballs. Okay. And I do want to edit his head a little bit because it is looking kind of skinny. And then I want to pull his mouth back in space. Thanks, Neil. Derpy-eyed frog. Okay, here we go. Let's do snake hook. So maybe I just need to get the flow of this mouth a little better. Always look at your model from all sides. It's kind of the key. Thanks, Zofo. It's a lot of fun. I want to get that swoop happening underneath. See that swoop? And then down into a belly. Oh, funny. I love characters that make me laugh. If it makes me laugh, success. His eyes. What are you saying, Leeuwe? I feel like his eye sacs are a little more encapsulated on the tops of his eyes in the reference. Oh, you mean like pulling them over the top a little more? Yeah, you're probably right. Let's try it out. Expose them in the front maybe a little more. Let's smooth this out. Yeah, pretty funny. All right, let's do, let's save it for one. Then I want to edit these knees a little bit better. Frog. Then make his ankles smaller. He's got cankles going on. Encapsulatedicesacs.com. Sounds like something you should get looked at. Do you have encapsulated eye sockets? Try our new product. Okay. Just drag this down so the connection point of those legs isn't so thick. The best eye drops, yep. Encapsulated eye drops for your encapsulated eye sockets. And one trick to pinch something is use inflate. It'll close gaps a little bit. Yeah. Best name ever. Okay, I'm gonna make his arms kind of swoop a little more. Whoop. Sometimes you just need to be careful. Do snake hook. Just want to pull this down. Hey, how's it going? I kind of messed up the connection there. Whoops. Smooth will also work on your color, so just be careful to turn RGB off when you're smoothing your character down. Yeah, Jinx in Lucky's Tale, yep. need to put those in my portfolio. I just haven't had time. Okay, I still want to work on these arms. The shape is not working for me. I want the swoop to be on the outside like this. That's better. Okay. And then I kind of want to do like, see these little wrinkles that I have in the leg connection. I want to do those in the armpit. You can kind of see how Mitch has them in the armpit here. So let's isolate those down. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it, but maybe I'll just force it right here in a lower subdivision level with maybe the cloth brush. Yeah, it's been a long time. Whoops. And that's kind of back when they were still doing the VR game. Let's turn this down. So Lucky's Tale started out as a VR game. It's actually kind of cool to see them bring it to a console because then more people can see it and play it and check it out. Okay, let's turn on perspective. So his whole entire body's kind of leaned a little bit more forward. So I want to fix that really quick. And how I'm going to do that is go into T-pose mesh. Yeah, Leeuwe, that'd be awesome, right? Okay, so now I can just grab, turn perspective off. Let's see. I'll make sure mirror is on. Let's blur. Okay, and now, whoops. I'm going to switch to the transpose line for a second. So just a little easier to manipulate sometimes. Bow down, Froggy. Yeah, Leeuwe, right? It'd be like everybody's plugged in like in Ready Player One. Okay, now I'm going to bend his back just a little bit. To keep polyframe in T-pose, yeah. Well, not poly groups necessarily. There is a way. I'm trying to remember. Maybe in options. I'm going to bend this just a little bit back. It is tweaking the eye. All right, Sean, thanks for hanging out, man. And I do want to straighten out. See this, the legs all warbly here? Just want to straighten that out. Frog butt. I kind of want to give him a... So frogs kind of have a... Because when they were a tadpole and they had tails and their tails fall off, it kind of ends in a little thing like this. So I want to give him kind of a little frog butt. All right. Let's go back to T-pose. Up, 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 up. All right. This guy makes me laugh. Oh, man. Okay, we can turn on perspective now. We can try him in kind of a cartoon render. And let's see. Let's load him into a cartoon render. So if I click on one of these NPRs, I like this bottom one. It'll replace the whole scene. With this bright scene like this. Then we can load the frog back into it. Let's turn off floor. Okay, so I think the shadows are a little harsh, so let's go to rendering. Actually, let's crank this open. Under material. I'm just gonna park it over here. Mess with these modifiers. Let's see. And then there's also render filters that you can play with too. Where are you? BPR filters. Sharpen, displace. Okay, let's turn displace off. So if I render this, it'll start messing with the filters. Okay, and then BPR shadows. Here, let me look really fast. As far as that goes, I can't, because yeah, when the poly groups will temporarily go away when you do a T-pose, and then they'll come back when you come back. So you're not losing them, you just can't use them during T-pose as far as I know. I thought there was a way, but I can't remember. Yeah, I can't recall. Let's see. So I want to just lighten up those shadows. BPR shadows, the global shadow strength. Floor shadow strength. Should be lighter. There it goes. Okay. So you can kind of turn off the, here, let me move him over here. You can kind of lighten up those shadows by going to render, BPR shadow, and turning the global strength down to like 0.1. It will lighten up those shadows like that. How do you actually differentiate by that? Like, how do you save? How do you save your original pose? So basically what I usually do to save a pose is I will save off a version. So if I'm going to go pose a character, I would save it off and call it like pose 01 or something. And then I'll pose it in that file, that like a ZTool file. And then I'll leave my T-pose character or you know, regular pose character just in its own file. That way I don't mess it up or overwrite it. But since This frog, I don't really care that he has a T-pose or not. I posed it in here, so I'm not worried about it too much. Yeah. Just don't be afraid to save off a version, you know. So anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah, so frog in a couple hours. And I want to thank Mitch Leeuwe for providing the concept. I always love his stuff. And this frog's no exception. This makes me laugh. I really like it. If I were to go back and clean this up a little bit more, I'd probably just clean up some of this stuff in the toes with Sculptus Pro, or retopologize it, you know, to clean some of this stuff up. He's got some warblies going on here and there, but for the most part, it turned out okay. I like him. Like I said, he makes me laugh. So, but thanks so much for joining me today. And as always, I teach this stuff online. A lot of these figures behind me are figures that I actually modeled when I was working at Disney, and I teach how to do that on an online workshop. It's called 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can go check it out over there. I'm going to be running a promotion this month of November, if you're watching this later. And I also give away my brushes and my user interface. If you want to go get those, they're also on 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And I forgot to put my frame on here. Let's see. I don't know where my little frame went. It says ZBrush and all that stuff. Anyway, I should be back using OBS again next week. So thanks, guys, again for hanging out, and we'll catch you next week. Until then, happy sculpting, and be on the lookout for some news coming from Pixelogic very, very soon. So, all right, take care, guys, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.